it was well worth the wait. I know I made you guys wait just a little bit longer than starting at my 10:30 slot, but it was well worth the wait. So yes, we are here with Morning Brew. It's your girl Germaine, and I have a special guest in studio. And what I'm going to do a little different, I'm going to bring her into the studio, and then we're going to do her whole opening up. Okay, is that fair enough? So I see people are chiming in over on Instagram right now. This is It was Authors Brew Monday. It was Authors Brew Friday, but we are converting it to Fly Girl Friday with none other than Miss Jossie Harris. So give me a second and let me bring her in. Hey, Miss Jossie.
Hey, good morning, sis.
How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored, as I always say.
Listen, I know we are on two different coasts, and I know it is early where you are, so I appreciate you and love you so much
Listen here.
because I know you had no sleep.
Listen, I'm usually up at this time, to take my baby to school, but it's all good. It was a little bit of a rough night, but it's okay. I'm here, and I'm happy to be
Yay.
here with you, Jermaine.
Oh, I am so glad. So this is what I want to do that's a little different. I'm going to actually have you introduce yourself through a series of video clips. Can we do that?
Oh, okay. Yes, let's do it.
So stand by. Let me bring this up and let's
Okay.
introduce who is Jossie Harris, okay, as she takes us on a journey of her story. Give me a
Okay,
second.
let's go.
Let's go.
What makes you fly? Hi, I'm Jossie Harris, original Fly Girl from the iconic show In Living Color, and proud to boast one of hip-hop's legendary dancers rocking the dookie braids back in the day. Today, I am a spirit-filled, proud mom of two amazing human beings. I am also a producer, director, premier acting coach to the stars, award-winning actress, owner of Respect for Acting Academy, and Be Fly Create Productions. Yes, all of the things. Taking up space and owning my flyness every step of the way. But here's a little confession. I didn't always feel fly. And guess what? Some days, I still struggle. So, after many conversations with God, I knew it was time to share my personal reflections as a fly girl then, and you can bet as a fly girl now.
Officially fly, it's official.
Uh-oh, I don't hear you.
Audio.
Now I hear you.
It always goes to mute. So wait a minute. I have a lot of people coming in right now. We have Harmon Entertainment Group. Yes, Gerard.
Hey, I don't know how, I don't see the comments, but I guess it's okay.
No, these are the
Um,
ones on my Instagram. So your Instagram is live too. So if you have it up on the screen, up on your screen, you'll see as people start chiming in through your Instagram link. Okay.
okay, well, I'm trying to be a sexy techie girl, so I was trying to go live on my Instagram from this perspective. So
I
you're gonna
think you
have
are. I think you are. We have you literally going streaming live through the broadcast. It's going over to at Jossie Harris right now.
yeah, but I was talking TikTok. Is it on TikTok as well?
You know, for some reason with StreamYard, you have to do it after. It doesn't stream live like everything else, like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and
Oh,
everything else.
but we can
Yeah.
do it after. Okay, so let's focus. We're on Instagram right now. To all my Instagram people.
Look, Gerard says you are live on IG.
Okay. I am. Let's go.
Hello, Miss Diva Daz, over on Instagram. Hello, TD Watson 0216 has joined. All right, let's see what's going on in the world of others coming in. Listen, if you're here, please let us know. One, I'm drinking my coffee. Yes, it's my brand, my Ezra brand partnership coffee. And also, let us know where you're chiming in from in the comments. Join in on the conversation as we get into Miss Fly Girl herself from, listen, we're going to bring them way back, okay, Jossie? Because
Uh-oh.
we were all, listen, we were all fans of In Living Color. It was iconic. We couldn't wait to get home to watch it. you know? And so,
Listen, I was the same way. I was the same way. I came in on the second year of the
okay.
second season of In Living Color. So that first year, I was rushing home to watch it with everyone else too. Little did I know that God was going to bless me and have me on the show the following season.
Absolutely. So that's I want to get into that journey because you were just like us spectators. It was something so different on television. We saw ourselves. It was fly. It's all get out, right? It was fly.
Yep, yep.
So, oh, I have some other people chiming in on YouTube. Hello, Karen Story 2186. Good morning.
Hey, those are my people. What's up, Karen?
Yeah, she says, "Hey, sis Josie." I
I
miss you
know.
guys.
I love my people. They're so amazing. My family, my CQ family, my Respect for Acting Academy family, my B Fly Create, my BFF family. Like, it's so beautiful. I have the most beautiful people who support me, and we support each other.
So once again, she done went. So we're gonna talk about just how Josie, yes, she was a fly girl and she was a part of this iconic brand and living color, but she's really an example of the power of one story and just how it has evolved over time. And some people get stuck and need to know, how do I pivot and how do I shift? But she's going to take us through her story because she has been able to master that. And did you hear what she said? A lot of her students are chiming in from her acting academy. So Josie got a lot going on, but Josie, we want to be all in your business today, okay?
All right. Well, let me drop you in. Okay. Um, so I want to first give it up to God for just blessing my whole life. I am able to do all things
Yeah.
because, of the strength and spirit that I get from knowing who I am and whose I am. Amen.
Amen.
I started off in Harlem. I wasn't a trained dancer, and I think that's what separated me. And it was like such a big deal when I got to In Living Color. I know I'm skipping some stuff, but
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
um, I just want to give it up to Harlem because Harlem really raised me. Harlem is where it all started for me, all the culture, the rich experiences that I had. Really, started me off on this path. And so God took a little girl from Harlem, you
Mm.
know, who had never been anywhere, never been anywhere. I mean, my first trip outside of Harlem was to Germany because I took part of a contest. And so I wrote in, and my first real experience was when I was in my teens and I went from Harlem to Germany, and it just changed my life. It just expanded, my view of the world. And I believe that's where God started to create purpose in me. Because I
Yes.
was just blown out of the water, like, wow, like it's a whole world out here. And so the world just became bigger to me. So, I used to dance. We used to have block parties in Harlem, right?
Yes.
That's where sort of the name came, street dancers. So I was a street dancer. Shout out to Voodoo Ray and to Mop Top and all the dancers that have influenced me, and all the dancers that we've danced, all the dancers who have danced together with me.
Okay.
And so anyway, I came up with this look with the braids that became a very iconic look.
Absolutely.
And I started being, requested in all of these hip hop videos, not just as a dancer anymore, but like as a lead in the video,
Yes.
which is when God really started to sort of not separate me, but literally kind of set me on a different, trajectory in terms of
Victory.
like
Mhm.
my dancing career. And I worked with a lot of incredible dancers. For those who don't know, Michael Jackson, Heavy
So
D,
wait,
Mary
wait,
J.
wait. You
Blige.
you are getting so far ahead of us. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
okay, okay.
Let's begin to unpack some things because you go from Harlem, New York. Your first trip was out of the country to Germany. That in itself I mean, it wasn't like to another state in the United
No,
States. It was
no.
to a whole other country.
Yeah.
Now, was that on
From
business?
Harlem to Germany.
Was that on business? Were you working when you had the opportunity to go
No,
over to Germany?
I was a teenager. I was a
Okay.
teenager. Yes, there was a contest, a writing contest that was going around. It was a part of the cities, and I entered and I won to represent Harlem.
A
So
writing
that's
contest.
yeah, it was a writing contest. Like, how can you make New York safer or the New York trains safer? And
Okay.
so I wrote that like we should have like um you know um these doors almost like they like the ones in Japan. Actually, when I was in Japan, it was so wild because I was like, wow, that was like my idea when I was back as a teenager, which is like just these doors that protected people, that would open up when the
Mhm.
train doors opened up. I wish I could find that essay, but it won me a trip to Germany.
That's
Go figure.
amazing.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you even know that you had it in you to write like that to be able to win something of this
I
on this
you know
level?
what? You know what? I know that I loved reading. I've
Hmm.
always loved reading, and writing is something I take really seriously.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm gonna write. I'm writing now, right? This is how you and
Absolutely.
I got together, right?
Absolutely.
Writing
Thanks,
my book.
Gerard.
Okay, all right. I'm writing several books right now. And so but I've always loved writing. I've always loved, the written word. It's always something that's been very
Definitely.
kind of sexy to me.
I think that's important because once again, when I think about the power of one story, and I talk about it a lot, is really the underbelly of even why Morning Brew exists, right?
Yeah.
But when I think about you literally writing your story, not knowing what it would open up, what doors and opportunities it would open up. But that was a huge one to win the opportunity to go to Germany just from you writing, being creative, your views, what you saw, and how you saw that it can transform or bring something that was better, change. And here we are. Here we are. So
Here
you
we are.
go being exposed to a whole new world out there, not just Harlem, because people, we can get stuck in just our surroundings, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that opportunity opened you up. But now you dancer by nature.
Yeah.
Did you ever imagine that would take you to the places it has taken you?
No, no. Dancing was always a way of escape for me,
Mm,
like it is for a lot of people, I think.
mhm.
Um, we don't talk about that enough, I don't think, but music heals,
Yes,
and dancing. Um, is very important, for the body, for the mental health, for your nervous system. So dancing is really important, and it was just natural. We most of us,
mhm.
most of us have the natural dance gene
Natural
in us.
ability.
Most of
Absolutely.
us Black and brown people,
Thank you. Okay.
so it's not a surprise that dancing came naturally to me, but God picked me out. And that's why I always kind of have to give it back to God, because I
Absolutely.
really feel like God literally picked me out. I was definitely a great dancer. I have receipts, right? But surely there were dancers who were better than me. But I loved it. I loved it, and that couldn't be denied. I've always been a passionate person. I'm passionate about everything that I'm into and I love. And so I danced with a lot of passion, and I think that passion could be felt
Yes,
more so
absolutely.
than anything. It's like watching a dancer who you can clearly see is not that, great maybe of a dancer, but they dance with so much passion and
Yes,
heart. We attach ourselves to them, right? And we feel them, and we go on the journey with them, whether it's for 30 seconds or an hour. It's that passion that's always going to connect us.
absolutely. So, okay. So let's take us on a ride, okay, or
It's
take
a
us
it's
on
a
this
long
journey.
ride. You're not ready, Germaine. We're gonna
Listen.
need to do a part two.
Yes, absolutely.
I've had 9 lives. I'm trying to hurry up and get to all of them.
That's encouraging for those out there. There's more lives within you. Okay.
Yes.
So Josie,
Amen.
okay, what was it like when you were accepted as a fly girl on In Living Color?
Oh my
What was
God.
that whole experience?
Listen, that's again one that would need a lot of time, but I'll give you a little
Okay.
peek into it. This will be in my book, as you know.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
um, that how I came into In Living Color was, beautiful, amazing. I obviously didn't see it coming. I had just been on In Living Color that first year. I had gone on with Heavy D as one of Heavy D's dancers.
Okay.
So I had sort of experienced, the behind the stage sort of view of In Living Color.
Okay, y'all, hold on. She'll be right back. I don't know what just happened with the feed, but she will be right back. But what I have Harmon Entertainment Group over on Instagram says, he says, "You're not ready for this." So she'll be coming back in. For some reason, her feed, she just lost her feed. But what an amazing story. So let me ask you guys out there that's right now chiming into the community. Were you one like me, couldn't wait for In Living Color to come on, and you're rushing home to make sure you can get it so you could see the skits, you could see the dancers? Just text that, yes, I love In Living Color. Put it in the stream or just let us know your experience. But if you have any questions also, as she's chiming back in, hold on, let me just let her know. Okay. All right, but if you are one and you have an In Living Color story, hey, talk to us about it so we can share it, okay? Let me just see. Hold on. She's
I'm
back
back. I'm
here.
back.
She's back.
I don't
Okay,
know.
hold on.
I, I, I got I got knocked off, but it's
That's
okay.
okay.
We're back.
That's okay. We held it down. I was
I know.
just
I
asking
know.
those in the community.
I know you did, girl. Please.
I was asking those in the community that if they love like I do In Living Colors, to let us know in the comments, and what was, if they could think of an In Living Color skit or something that took place that they wanted to share, then let's talk about it. But now
Oh,
that we
that's
have you back, and now that you are season 2 in Living
yes,
Color, and you
yes.
come in with Heavy D as one of his dancers, how did you go from one of his dancers to a permanent staple on the show?
Right, right. So I was at a party at an Andre Harrell party. May he rest his soul.
Yes.
He we miss him very, very much. Um, I was at one of his parties, and he was there with Rosie Perez, who was the choreographer on In
Yes.
Living Color, along with Arthur,
Mhm.
who's not mentioned enough because he was also a big influence in terms of the Fly Girls.
Okay.
And he choreographed as well with her. And they asked me, they literally approached me and said, listen, you know, we love you, and we've been seeing you rocking out on all these videos, and we would love for you to be a fly girl. Would you be interested? I was like, of course I would be interested. That would be amazing. And so then here's the thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks later, I get a call
Mhm.
from Rosie, and she tells me, you know what, Josie, I know that we, asked you to be a fly girl, but we're doing this whole like, promotional thing on the show, and we've decided that, and it's going to be live, and we've decided that we're going to have you audition. And I'm thinking, wait, what? How
What?
you going to offer me the role and then ask me to come and audition for it?
Yeah,
Like,
really.
yeah, no. Yeah, no. Um, but I stayed humble. And I went and auditioned, but I went with some extra fire and
Absolutely.
passion and purpose. Like, yeah,
Absolutely.
nobody's about to come in here and take my job. I don't think so.
And
And
that
I'll
was
tell you,
also to get back, like, you're gonna make me do this now. So I'm gonna have
okay,
to really prove to you.
yeah, I'm gonna have to really, really just show out. I
That's
didn't
it.
have to prove, but I did need to show out. So I showed out, and the rest is history. But I want to encourage somebody out there right now because
Yes.
um, the year prior to that, when I had gotten on In Living Color, I was met by some really, really terrible negativity.
Hmm.
That was, based on, just really jealousy at the end of the day. And it was a really, really dark time for me. It became a really dark time. I remember that time. I'm talking about the year before. Okay. And God took that situation and made it something bigger than I could ever even imagine and wrap my head around. And so the next, whatever, however, couple of, I want to say it was almost, I don't know, I'm bad with dates and stuff, but
That's
however
okay.
many months later or year later, I was on In
On
Living
the show.
Color. I booked that gig. And so, yeah, I
But isn't
became
it
a survivor.
interesting what one means for your harm, God will turn it around and make it for
A-
your good? And then put you on a
Absolutely.
platform, one of the biggest platforms.
Yeah, that's how
In
he'll
other
do,
words,
though. That's how
touch
he'll
not
do,
my
right?
anointed. Look, touch not
Yes,
my anointed, right?
absolutely, literally. And so that was a wonderful experience on so
Yes.
many levels, because of that incident. It was quite a lot for me. And so this was a wonderful experience, and it really, because that's what happens, right? Like when things happen, when bad things happen, it's all how you kind of take it in and
Absolutely.
and
And
allow
how
it
you
to
respond to
grow
it.
you,
Absolutely.
how you bounce back kind of thing. And so it ended up being a wonderful, wonderful experience on so many levels for me in Living
But
Color.
you took it and you used it for your good. It became part of your purpose.
Yeah,
Sometimes I say we need enemies. Enemies are sometimes strategically placed in our life. I
yeah,
think it
for sure.
allows us to really not get comfortable, but to see what's in us and what needs to come out of us to really propel us and push us forward in purpose. And it sounds
Yes,
like that's exactly what happened when they thought they were going to bring harm to you. God had another plan.
100%. Always. He always does. He
And
always
that
does.
that door, and how long were you on in Living Color?
I
How
was
many
on In Living Color, I want to say, for 3 seasons.
3 seasons. Now,
Hmm.
this is something interesting that I don't know if a lot of people know. Um, so we were talking in the Super Bowl. You know how massive the Super Bowl is, right?
Yes.
Well, the Super Bowl wasn't always as massive as it is with all the viewership and everything, but in Living Color, I heard had really
Oh,
a part in that, helping it to
100.
become what it is today.
Oh, absolutely. It really helped to change the landscape. I mean, Keenan Ivory Wayans is a genius. And
Yes.
he's whose voice, by the way, his voice is one of the top voices that I hear all the time that kind of got me through. You know how you have
Yes.
mentors and people who, influenced you? He's one of the biggest influences in my life, really.
Okay.
When I would be on set, I was fascinated. I love learning, and I'm always fascinated by just things and seeing people like do their thing, right? And
That's
so
right.
I would, instead of going home, I was homesick, first of all. I remember when I first moved to LA, I hated living in LA. I'm a Harlem girl, I'm a New York
Yep. Nope.
girl to heart. Okay. And so we would work 2 weeks and we would be off 2 weeks. And I always loved being on set. So instead of just going out to hang out after we were done with rehearsals, I would actually stay around, and
Okay.
I would sneak, and because I would sneak in so that they wouldn't see me and that I wouldn't, sort of be disturbing them. And I would watch the actors, the comedians work literally on stage, work out their script, work out their
Mm,
comedy skits,
yes.
and I would spend a lot of time in the office, and Keenan would always come to me and say, "You're going to do great things, Josie. You're going to do great things,"
Mm,
because
wow.
he would always see me there, and I was always, trying to be, low key and out of the way and stuff. But I would sit in that office, or I would, be on the stage, on the set, watching them. Have a beautiful day at school, babes. I love you, sweetheart. God bless you. Learn a lot and laugh a lot. And
You know,
so,
it's so interesting based on what you're saying that I did the same thing when I had the opportunity back in the 90s, of gaining access into the music industry and being around back in the day when Bad Boy was one of the hottest movements in music, right? It
absolutely.
became education for me, being at the studio, being in the offices, being able to really get a full education on somebody else's dime
It's
and
literally,
having people just feed you. And
yeah.
so, but sometimes people don't look at, as we're growing and as we're building, to be able to gain access and favor, take it all in, because it'll be the very thing to help you start your own brand, build your own business, and
Listen, can
push
I
your
just say,
knowledge.
can I add to
Yeah.
that? So,
Hmm.
God has continuously, grow me. And so
Hmm.
I'm in my director era right now. I'm walking into my director era. And how I got there really, because really I've always known that I was going to be a director, but
Okay.
it was hard for me as the little girl from Harlem to wrap my head around it, even though, he's blessed me plenty and I've been around the world, right? But it's always that little thing, like when it looks bigger than you,
That's
right?
right.
When you've come from,
Humble
limitations.
beginnings.
Right, humble beginnings, exactly.
Hmm.
So it's always a thing, and it's okay. It's okay because it keeps me humble and it keeps me grounded, and I like that. And so, oh my God, I'm losing my track of thought. What was I
No,
about to say?
so we were talking about when you find favor and you put yourself in a position in
Oh
those
yeah,
spaces and found favor.
exactly. Exactly. So, as an acting coach, I am also a dialogue coach, which is an acting coach on a TV or movie set, right? Not
Yes.
to be confused with a dialect coach. A dialect coach is someone who helps you with accents and how you say the words coming out your mouth kind of thing, right? I work
Okay.
with actors as a dialogue coach with the dialogue, right? That they have to learn. So when I was on set as a dialogue coach, I was always watching what the director was doing. Now I'm there
Mm,
to also help the director, but that was my university.
absolutely.
That was my training,
Absolutely.
and so as I started to get closer to my directors because you spent so much time with them. A couple of my directors, shout out to Robbie, countryman that is, a beloved director and respected director, TV director. Him and a couple of other directors took me under Monique. I have to shout out Monique as well. A couple of directors took me under their wing, and started having me, come with them on set to shadow them. But
Favor.
anytime you have an opportunity to be in front of greatness, next to anybody that you really love and who you admire, you really, really want to spend that time soaking in
Absolutely.
all that. That's just, invaluable information that you can use later on. So I'm like that. I'm like a sponge.
Me
I want to
too.
take it all in. I love learning about all things. So I'm always the one sticking around to see, like, and asking the
Excellent.
questions. A little nosy little girl.
Like, I'm the same way, be a master asker. Ask
Absolutely. I
questions,
love that. A
a master
master
asker.
asker. I love that.
Absolutely. And
Yep.
it's not too often that you find favor. I mean, you're just in a space doing what you do, and sometimes people will just pick you out. And that's what happened. And that was my entree into that whole music industry space through Rough Riders,
Mhm.
DMX, and everything. You
Yeah.
never know
Wow.
who's watching you. You never know who's watching and how you're handling yourself, because it could be your next door opportunity. So love
Absolutely. And
that.
you often hear said that, relationships are everything. It's all based on relationships.
Absolutely.
So you want to be kind to everybody. It's so important. You want to be kind and cordial, and and that's a huge part of it.
Definitely. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about favor that you experienced. So you dropped some real heavy names in the beginning, early on in your career. You mentioned Michael Jackson, and God bless his soul, with him
Yeah.
being no longer with us, but the contribution that he's made to our culture, to the
Yeah.
music, to the entertainment industry.
Yeah, he's the
How
goat.
did you even end up there, Josie? Josie, how did you even end up finding
Okay,
favor
that's
from the
that's
one
that,
himself?
listen, that's another, story that'll be in my book. I wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay.
I did not get the call for the audition, and so I crashed it.
And this was which song?
This was Remember the Time.
Mm-hmm.
And remember the time. It was, there was no phones, at the time. I mean, there were no text messages,
Okay.
And so the word got around that Michael Jackson was doing a hip hop video and he was looking for hip hop dancers. I was in New York at the time and the auditions were going to be in LA. And so I flew to LA and just crashed the auditions. And I crashed the callbacks. I crashed
That's
one of the
bold.
callbacks.
That's
Huh?
bold. That's
Ye-
bold.
Yes, I did. And his whole theme was this whole Egyptian theme. And
Mm-hmm.
I had Nefertiti. I have a Nefertiti tattoo on my back that says princess, because that says Black princess, because that's what my dad always called me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, sort of crept in towards the middle, middle of it, and I got myself in there, and apparently he was in the room. He was like in this room where you couldn't see him. It was a glass. We knew that he was in there, but we couldn't see him, but he could see us.
Mm-hmm.
And he really, really handpicked me, because he saw my tattoo. Um, and the rest was history. I got on there, and to this date, it's the best gig I've ever worked on. I've worked with some amazing people, but nothing comes close to working with the GOAT.
You didn't just get on after you broke the door down to get in, right?
Right,
You didn't
right.
just get on, but you were hand selected as a featured dancer
I
on
was, I
his
was. That
video.
was that was
And that was a
also
major
That
production.
was also him and John Singleton's doing. They literally, because I was actually put in the back, like you would have
Mhm.
hardly even seen me outside of that master shot. But they literally handpicked me, and a couple of other actors to be featured. And so that happened, and that was a big deal because guess what? When that video aired, we saw it with everybody else. We hadn't seen
Oh,
it.
wow.
So, a couple of us dancers, met, I think we were in a hotel because we were like on a gig for someone else by the time it aired.
Okay.
And I remember all of us being in the room and all of us just watching and seeing it for the first time. So it was the first time that I saw, when I was featured like that. It was like just such an incredible moment in my life
Oh
for
my
all
God.
of us, for all of us.
Absolutely. So just think about those on the other side watching it for the first time that had no part in it. It was a major,
Yeah.
major, it was something so different from what we known him to do also.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he
wow.
was amazing. He was just so amazing. I think, I miss him so much. It still hurts. I can't believe he's gone. Like it's still so hard for me. I have a little actor who went on to play Michael Jackson on the Broadway play, and I had such a hard time like wrapping my
Mm,
head around going to even see him and seeing the play because I'm like, who can play Michael Jackson? Like,
exactly.
it was always kind of too painful, but of course I finally went because I had an actor who booked it, and so I went, and it was an incredible production, by the way. They did a really, really great job. But now I'm excited to see, this new movie and his, nephew playing him. Like that's going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait.
Exactly.
Can't wait to see that. But I was starting to say that just spending that time with him, like just
Yes.
getting to know him, the rehearsal time, the sitting on the floor and all of us dancers sitting around him and talking and us goofing around. He was really beautiful and wonderful and playful. He had
Mhm.
such a wonderful spirit, and he was just so happy around us and being around us, and and dancing for us and us dancing for him. It was just a phenomenal time.
What would you say that were some other wow moments in your journey that you never thought you would even be able to make that part of your story? When you think about
Oh
your
man,
journey,
there's so
you know
many. There really so many. There's so many, but really his really tops it. His is it's literally one of my favorite moments.
Yeah,
I've had others, but his is my
that
favorite.
moment,
Yeah.
that
It's
moment,
my
and,
favorite.
thank
Dancing
God for
dancing with
memories.
him is just dancing with him was it was the biggest high ever.
I
Biggest
feel
high ever.
your passion even to this day, and it's been years,
Yeah.
but I still feel the warmth in jazz. Thank God you were someone that may not have known completely what you truly possessed,
Yeah.
but you knew enough to say, "I'm not gonna miss this opportunity. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
this by force."
Yeah, I he gave me his gift gave me that strength and power and courage to go do that. Really.
Wow,
That's really all him. Really, that's all his gift. And that's why it's so important for us to shine our gift and to really do it scared. Do it scared,
that's
And,
something
and
you talk about,
I
and I want you
do.
to really break that down because it's almost like, "Do it scared." In other words, how did you even come up with that statement?
because it's my truth. It's really my truth. That's how I come up with it. I do almost everything scared. I do almost everything scared. But here's the thing, because God doesn't want us to be scaredy
Exactly.
cats, right? He wants us to show up bold and courageous and knowing who we are. But we got to get there. We got to get
Absolutely.
there. There's steps
Mhm.
to get there. And I think that I my thing with doing it scared is that I'm still being courageous because doing it scared really talks about courage. What it's really showing
Definitely.
you is that, that's what courage is doing it scared and knowing that
Absolutely.
God is going to meet you on the other side of that fear. So nothing that I've ever done has ever sort of crashed and burned. I have some things that I've done that have been more successful than others, but all of them have been a rich experience for me. All of them have made me a better artist, a better human being because of it today. Right.
Mhm.
All of it has opened up doors, has expanded my mind in terms of being a creative. And so it's all been wonderful. So I do it. I
I
do
love
it,
that.
and more so now. I think there was a time when I was afraid of like the haters, right? Because especially for me, it's something that caught up to me, not just psychologically but physically. you
Mm.
know and so so it was a real thing, that
Mhm.
was based on some real fear of sort of the worst scenario kind of thing. And but I did it. I did it anyway. And every time I've done it, God has always met me on the other side of it. He's never
That's
let me
beautiful.
just crash and burn. So it's a big message that I have to anybody who has, seen me or listens to me, because it's really important that you hear me say, do it anyway. Do it
Exactly.
scared. God will meet you on the other side of that fear.
That is huge because you said do it scared. And a lot of times fear is what cripples us to keep us
Mhm.
stuck and not seeing our greatness on the other side. And
Yeah.
so,
But
and
fear is, it's, some fears obvious, some things obviously are, are strong enough fears to, for you to know not to do it, right? Like
absolutely.
you should fear fire. You
I was
do
just about
not
to say,
want
don't
to
touch
turn
that
on the
fire.
stove and put your hand in it, like, right? You should fear certain things. But I think the fear that happens in our mind, in terms of like visions that we get about who we
Yes,
are and the things that we want to accomplish and that we see ourselves, that's the fear I'm talking about, that for you to kind of work through. that
absolutely.
that fear in your mind is not true.
You know what? When you just said that, I also think about doing it scared. It definitely should be a tag. It should be everywhere. Billboards. Doing it scared
I
because
agree.
there's a part of you that trusts God even blindly to
Yeah.
know that I'm just going to take the step right off the ledge. And
Yeah.
as I fall, I trust and know he's going to catch me.
But that's what faith is, right?
Yes,
That is
absolutely.
that is the very
Absolutely.
definition of faith. And so, if you know God's got you and you believe in God, then you should step off. You should step off. I encourage you to step
Step off.
off. I encourage you to step
Step
off
off.
today, right
Yes.
now. If you're watching this, let this be it for you. Let this be,
Yes.
let this be a sign for you.
I just wanted to put that in our comments to just step off.
Step off, drop
Step
in,
off.
do it
Step
scared.
off. Yes. Um, you know what else? I want to now segue right into how did you come up with Be Fly Create? Because that's your
So
brand, officially fly.
So Be Fly Create is my company. Everything else sort of, works under, lives under it, like my Officially Fly brand, like Respect for Acting Academy and Kids Way Acting Academy. Be Fly Create was really something I heard God speak into me. Just like, I took a long time to get into social media, because I just was like, oh my God, that's where all the bullies go and all the mean people and all the negative people. And it took me, I signed up for all of them, but I didn't get involved until a couple of years later. God was like, you're going to be left behind if you don't catch up with this little movement here, ma'am.
Exactly.
Uh, so, um, he gave me the name Just Josie, which is how I started coming onto social media as Just Josie, because, I knew that, I was just going to come in being myself.
Be
That's the only,
yourself.
it's the only way. And so Just Josie was kind of how I started. And then my company was Be Fly Create. And Be Fly Create is because, one, I believe in being in the moment. Right.
Yes.
So we have to always be in the moment. And that's sort of a fancy thing to say, but I really believe that's the only way to live your life fully, is to just be present in the moment, because that's
Yes.
really all that we have, right? But it also speaks to my actors in terms of technique. And you have to be present as the actor, or as the character rather, so that you can, create that full-blooded breathing, human being that you are. And so we're talking mastery. Okay. And then Fly was a no-brainer, right? I was a fly girl, and so an Emma fly girl. And so I was, making use of that word. But fly also speaks to flying and soaring to your highest heights.
Yes.
And I believe that that's where God would have us go, to just like really explore, soaring, and let your spirit soar. And then create is the creator in all of us
That's
to
right.
be, God, the Holy Spirit is in us, and it allows us to be all that we can be. And so tapping into the creator in all of us. Yeah, so Be Fly Create. It's my production company.
So I want to read this if I can from you. This
Okay.
is what I took from you, okay?
Okay.
Be, fly, create is really a philosophy. It means, just as you said, show up as best self, embrace your creativity, and build something meaningful with it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
simple. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much a call to action for all of us out there
Yeah. Yeah.
to be able to adapt that.
It really is. And my audience is, for me, very specific. I was born and raised in Harlem,
Mhm.
and I really want to speak to those who have grown up in underprivileged, underserved neighborhoods, who, can, often not believe that it is possible for them to actualize their dreams.
Yes.
And I'm here to say I'm very specific about who I'm speaking to, because those are the people whose voices we need to hear the most, who
Absolutely.
tend to, be afraid to step out and use their voice. And they think, like, you know what? Who cares? I've even struggled with that. Like, nobody wants
Yes.
to hear what I have to say. Like, who cares? There's a million voices out there, and who wants to hear mine? But we do need to hear
Absolutely.
mine. We do need to hear mine, but we need to hear yours too. And now more than ever, we need to, let our light shine, because we really don't know who we could be influencing, who we could be helping, who we could be saving.
Absolutely. And that's why I just want to say good morning from California. C. Wiggins 2535.
Good morning. I can't see the chat. I don't know why, but I can't see it in the
Um,
way that I'm using
you
my
know what? They're
voice. So
coming into the Morning Brew chat. Right now he's coming in from the YouTube link.
okay.
But hey, he's here. Good morning. Thank you. All the way
Good
from
morning.
California. And so, you are the perfect example of why I am so passionate about the power of one story.
Mm,
Because, we enter into this world and we're not thinking we have a story because we don't when we make
right,
our introduction into this world. But
right.
as we continue living through life's journeys and everything, we continue to cultivate stories that now make up who we are. And everybody has one. And there are those like yourself that will allow it to magnify globally for the world to be able to experience it, be a part of it, share in it, and
Yeah.
learn from it. And that's what you've done. So to take it a step further, that's why I said she did not get stuck. She continued to pivot, and she
Yeah.
continued to take her education, or she took her experiences, she took the encouragements from others and her relationships, and she built something, Be, Fly, Create, that would now allow people to sit in classrooms with her to be taught how to magnify their story as well. And it's such a beautiful thing because you have worked with so many people. And I just had somebody when I was sharing that you were coming on Morning Brew.
Hi, baby. I love you, sweetheart. Be safe. God bless you. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's okay. My dog was making some, like, I'm like, okay, go sit down.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I had one of my someone that chimed in, Coach Kathleen, and she said, listen, I need to go to California because I need to take her class, her acting class.
I would love for her, but she doesn't have to. I teach
That's what I
online.
said. So talk
She
about
doesn't
it.
have to. I have actually been teaching online for years. I've taught online longer than I've taught in person, really. So tell her she doesn't have to go anywhere. She could do
Well,
it
you know
right
what?
there from the comfort of her home.
That's exactly what I said. And good morning to Melissa Nicholas
Yes, that's
64.
one of my students. That's one of my
Okay.
superstars. Good
I
morning,
love it.
Melissa.
I
Good
love it.
morning.
But
I
that's
love
what I
me some
told her.
Melissa.
And you know what? I want to share with everybody watching now because you have also joined. Yes, Jossie Harris is a part of the Morning Brew school community. Yes, Josie, you are.
Absolutely. Oh my, absolutely.
And it's scrolling at the bottom for anybody that want to join. But Josie, I want you to be able to tell people because you run your classes virtually. How often?
Okay, so my classes have been going on for years. My adult class meets every Wednesday night, and it's on
Mhm.
an ongoing basis. So
Okay.
we meet every Wednesday in the evening from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
My kids class meets on Thursdays, and I'm thinking about adding a Saturday kids class. And my teen class meets on Saturday mornings as well at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
So now
And
what
all
are
they
some
have
of
to
the
do is go to respectforactingacademy.com to sign up and join.
hold on,
Um,
let me put that in the chat so
okay.
people can join the respect.
Uh-huh. It's respect, not, yeah,
Oh yes.
respectforactingacademy.com.
Spell it out for me just so I can make sure it's correct.
Respect,
Um,
RESPECT,
uh-huh. For
for FOR,
acting.
actingacademy.com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to put that here over on my Instagram also for people that are definitely interested to
But what I would
join.
love to also say about that is, I like to call my acting life coaching and act life and acting coaching coming together, because I work with people privately as well.
Mhm.
And there are people like in the corporate world who just need help with their sense of confidence, right? When they're presenting, whether it's, in front of two people or 100 people. I work with people to just help build their sort of presentation skills. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of exercises and stuff that I do, in terms of acting that help people out with that too. Um, so if there's anybody out there that also needs that type of help, I can help them with that as well. But anybody
That's
who's, I work primarily with professional working actors, but I
mhm.
work with beginner actors as well. And I do private consultations and I do private acting sessions.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully we'll see what's going on. She'll let me know when she's back in. So pretty much anybody that's interested and want to know more information, how to be a part of her classes or even her coaching, definitely you can go to respectforactingacademy.com to really gain that experience from her. This has been, I'm going to keep this up for a few moments. And hello, Dr. Joanne B. Lewis. Good morning. Yes, thank you for stopping by. So right now, she should be chiming back in. Sometimes with technology, it does its own thing. But this has been such a blessing. Yes, Gerard, thank you for that because we are going to get into that. When is the book coming? So when she chimes back in, um, okay. But I want to say that look at her, she's back.
Darn technology.
I was just sharing that, sometimes technology really gets in the way, but
So
um
annoying.
but you know what? This has been so enriching and so enlightening and just empowering, just you sharing the power of your story. So also I want to tell you
Thank you,
that Dr.
sweetheart.
Joanne B. Lewis says good
Okay.
morning.
Good morning, Joanne B. Lewis, Did you say doctor?
Dr. Joanne B. Lewis.
Okay, Dr. Joanne B.
Yes,
Lewis. Good
the respect
morning.
on it.
That's right.
And also, I do have a question from none other than the one who brought us together, Gerard Harmon. When is the book
Hey.
coming out? It's always Gerard, right?
It's always G. One of the
But
most amazing human beings on
let's
this
talk
earth,
about
and
it.
one of my closest friends. I love you so much, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, soon, Gerard. We're working
Yes,
on it.
we
Okay,
are. We're working on.
we're
It's
working
a lot
on it.
to unpack. Let me tell you, Josie has a powerful story, and we haven't even scratched the surface of it today on Morning Brew.
Yeah, yeah.
But she did give us an insight into what we can expect. So wait, Gerard also says, "What does the shirt say, Josie?"
So the shirt,
Flag,
the jersey says "Fly Girl,"
flag girl.
and I know you are probably gonna automatically think that this is my line, but it's not. As you see, it's "Fly Girl" spelled girl spelled GRL. And I want to shout out my girl Tony. It's her. She actually personalized it for me. Can you see it?
In
It
the
has my
back.
name. Yep, it has my name in the back.
Okay.
Her company is called House of Swag. It's spelled Haus.
Hold on,
House
let me
of
get that in here to check out. Yes. Hold on, let
Yep.
me put it
And
in
I
the comment.
believe I believe my code, because you can get a discount if you want one. If you
Okay.
want one of your own. I think my
Yes.
my discount code is FlyGirl15 for
Okay,
either
so
15 or 20% off. Please get yourself one. They're so fly. They come in other colors as well. Um and I really love just putting, my friends on as well. And she's got a
absolutely.
million things.
Hold on, I want to make sure I get that correct.
No
So
problem.
it's spell it for me. Check out HA. Is it spell it for me?
US House.
HAUS.
Haus,
Hmm.
House of Swag. Of and then swag. S as in Sam, WAG.com. House of Swag.
Great.
And
And
and and
this
and
is
she's
your
got
code. Hmm.
yes, I believe my code is FlyGirl15. Now I would
Okay.
be messing that up. So if that's not the code, just please hit me back.
Okay.
I
I
can I
put
can
it out.
yeah, I can check really quickly. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Let's do this right if we're gonna do it, right?
Yes, and then I'll repurpose that. Okay. So
Yep. Yep. 1 second. I'll get it to you right now. Oh, I was wrong. Josie 15. Josie 15. Josie spelled with two S's. Josie 15.
we're gonna delete that comment altogether and we're
Okay.
gonna start over. But your screen just went blank. So I hope
I
you don't lose
know.
it again.
Okay, wait. Now I gotta find you. Oh Lord.
So
Okay,
it's
I'm back.
Josie. Okay. Is it
Jo-
Josie 15?
yeah, Josie 15.
Okay, so we're gonna repurpose that. Josie 15. Check out House of Swag. Get your own fly girl jersey.
Yes,
Thanks, Gerard, for
absolutely.
opening that up.
Yep. Yep.
All right. And here we go. So we just posted it in both locations. So yes, people can stop by and get it. So
Yeah,
Josie,
absolutely. Thank you, G. Always
what
looking
else?
out.
So what else do you want? Now listen, I know you have been an inspiration to me because you went live on TikTok and you're
Oh
going in.
yes.
Look how fast it is. Fly Girl Fridays. You're
Yes.
going, your fourth Friday is coming up
I
tonight.
know. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Is it really? Oh
it
my God,
is.
it might be. I,
It's
I
the
think
fourth
I
Friday.
think I think it is. I think it's
Oh
my
my gosh,
fourth
how fast
one.
time flies
Yeah,
so fast.
so I
This
Fly
is
Girl
over on
Fridays
TikTok, guys.
on TikTok. Yep, on TikTok. Every Friday it's Fly Girl Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm also going to be doing a live on TikTok on Tuesdays for my Respect for Acting Academy. I'm really coming up with sort of this cool idea of, introducing my actors and letting
Nice.
and it being interactive on TikTok, actors who want to come up and show their acting skills, a way to also introduce them to my teaching and my classes.
Okay.
And so I'm going to be doing that on Tuesday. And then, my officially fly brand, right?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is me just showing, just all the things that I like to use. And so it's anytime that you see me sharing, whether it's a product or an item or some clothes that these are pieces that I think are fly. Okay. And so
Absolutely.
it'll have my Officially Fly stamp on it. And I'm going to be going live for that too. I think I'm going to be going live
That's good.
on Wednesdays for Officially Fly on TikTok.
Look
So
at you. Look at you.
I'm new to TikTok, y'all. I know I'm a little late. I'm a little
Wait a minute.
late, but I'm right on time. Okay.
You are right on time.
I'm right.
Listen, I got a funny story about TikTok. So hold on. I want to make sure I have this. Join Josie on TikTok, Fly Girl Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right?
Yes.
It's 7 p.m., right?
No, Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, yes, Pacific. That's right. That's right.
You're Central. No, you're
No,
East. No,
I'm
you're East.
Eastern.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, and that's the funny thing. That's one of the things because it's 10 o'clock my time. And for those that know me, they already know I'm in the bed by 8.
Right. Right. Right.
So I make sure I stay up to support my girl on her live TikTok. And we have so much fun over there. I mean, it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm gonna say that.
Oh, that's
It
so
really is.
good. That's
It
so
really
good,
is.
Germaine. So my Fly Girl Friday is um it's me sharing just my journey, my
Absolutely.
ups and downs, my challenges. I like to call it also the breakthrough room, because I just think that I just want to be able to use my gifts to help others out. So it's really filled. It's all about purpose and being intentional about what I say and what I put out there. That's really important to me. However, I can make a difference in somebody's lives and life, and if it's sharing my story and sharing, my challenges, I really want God to use me in that way. And so this was a big, bold move because
Oh,
I
wow.
can tend to sort of kind of dim my light, so to say, sometimes when I get overwhelmed with, social media and listening to like the negative sort of comments and voices. But I've decided that I'm going to feed the one that brings me the most joy and the most light.
Absolutely.
And so coming on live to TikTok, it's really a very intentional and bold move. And so I like to say that I like to be fly for good, right?
Yes.
Fly for good. I'm not just out here being fly. I'm being out here being
Being
fly for good. And so
yes.
however I can be a blessing, and if that's sharing my story, the good, bad, the ugly, all of it, I'm sharing it. So if you want to hear it, and if you're looking for some breakthroughs, then come and join
Absolutely.
us. We have fun,
We do.
we dance, we
We
do
do.
dance breaks.
We do.
And so we have some beautiful people who join us in that space, who I love so much. And so we're all
Yes.
there to basically encourage one another to get
Ab-
out, to step off, to drop in, all of that,
Absolutely.
all of the
And
things.
to do it scared.
To do it scared.
That's
Yeah,
it. So let me make
absolutely.
sure. So TikTok, what's the handle at TikTok? Is it
At
Fly Girl
TikTok,
Fridays?
at TikTok, it's Officially Fly.
Let me put that hashtag.
At
Well,
Officially
at
Fly.
officially.
Yep.
So people can definitely chime in tonight.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. So yes, we are going to share that, and then they can stay connected with you when all your other lives go. I am so proud of you.
I know. That's you. You coming on here for 5 days a week. I'm like, can I do it? If Germaine can do it, I can do it. And I mean that, Germaine. I
Yeah, I
mean
know.
that.
Thanks to Gerard, he had to remind me that I started in May 16th. Oh, Gerard
Wow.
had to remind me. And what's so interesting, thanks, Gerard, again. What's so
The
interesting
best.
is I am coming up on a year, 5 days
Wow.
a week. It is
Wow.
nobody but God that I decided to take that step and do it scared because I have
Five
been running from
days
it,
a
running.
week.
Monday
That's
through Friday, 10:30. But I've
wow.
built some amazing relationships like yourself to really let your voice be heard through this platform. Brand companies that are signing up and being a part, and it's been incredible helping people write their stories and get them out into the marketplace in the
You're
world. So
amazing, sweetheart. You're amazing. You don't see me a lot live. I mean,
Yeah.
I was really drawn to you. You have a wonderful spirit. I feel safe with you to tell my
Wow.
story and to have you be the one to help me tell my story.
Wow. Thank
That
you.
really says a lot. So
It does. Thank you.
you're an incredible, beautiful queen.
Thank you so
And
much.
I love being here and supporting you. And we're gonna do this once a month,
Ah,
right? We're
we
gonna do
have some
this. I'll be
we have
here
some
on
stuff we're
Morning
working
Brew
on.
once a
Yes.
month. Let's go.
It's about bringing Fly Girl Friday over to Morning Brew. Yes.
Let's go.
We are brewing some things for you all. So you got to
Yes.
stay connected. Josie,
Yes.
what do you want to leave with the people? What do you want to say until the next time we meet, right?
Until the next time, I just want to say that be good to yourself. Self-care is so important before you can truly love anybody else and really truly be there for anybody else. You've got to show up for yourself first. You've got to learn to spend some time with yourself, spend time with God. Don't be
Absolutely.
afraid to find that quiet time, like as quiet as you can make it,
Mm,
like as quiet as you can make it. If you got to get in your closet, that's the whole idea of your prayer closet, right? You got to be able to shut out the world, shut out the noises, shut out the distraction, and just really learn to sit there with yourself. It is the only real way that you will hear God's voice. He speaks to us in a very quiet voice. And so I dare you to do
mm.
that
Good.
this morning, right now. I dare you to just stop what you're doing and find the quietest place in your place and just sit there for as long as you possibly can. You might be able to only be able to stand it for 10 seconds. It doesn't matter. Just start the process of finding that quiet time and do it for you. And I promise you that God will meet you there. So
I
that's my
love
word.
that. I
Mhm.
absolutely love that.
I
Guys, you know
haven't
how
done
we
that
do.
yet because she woke me up early. I actually didn't get any sleep,
I
but
was about to say,
the little
did you even
sleep
go to
that I
sleep?
did get coincide with me having to be up to get ready for this.
Oh my gosh, that's love. That is pure love. Thank
It's
you,
all love.
Josie.
It's all love. It's all love. It's all
Yes.
love.
Yes. So, guys, please make sure look, take heed to the information, to the advice that she is leaving us with, and take a moment for you. You know how we do. We take a pause so we can pour into purpose. And right
Yes.
now, that's what she's saying. But if you guys are available tonight, make sure you go over to TikTok so you
Yes.
can join
Please do.
Josie over in her space at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Pacific time, but it's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But
Yes.
when I tell you, it is really
You're gonna have
purely
fun.
a blessing. Yes. And so I'll see you there. I'll be there
Yes.
tonight. I fell
I will
asleep
see.
last week.
Yeah, yeah. And you're allowed to fall asleep, my East Coasters, as long as you wake up and join
You
us
called
back.
me
It's
out
okay.
on it.
You can just take little naps in between, okay?
You did call me out, Germaine. Are you still there? Did you fall
Jermaine, are you
asleep?
still there?
I
We had
did.
so much fun. Come
We
join
do.
us if you want to have a good time and just talk and have some real conversations and
Absolutely.
maybe you will find your breakthrough at Fly
Absolutely.
Girl Fridays tonight.
All right.
All right, guys.
And, Josie, I love you so much. Thank you again. Go get some rest
Thank
if you
you.
can.
I
Okay.
will. I won't be able to, but I'm up. I'm up. So it's on and cracking. It's okay.
Have a great day. Be safe,
All
whatever
right.
you do. You all be
Yes.
safe too in your journeys today. And remember, take a pause, take a moment for you so you can pour in a purpose and let God meet you in that space. All
Yes.
right.
Amen.
Have a great
Amen.
one.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.